to the show. It's 4 o'clock on Thursday, which means it's time for the most motivational segment in all sports. It's also time when we read some viewer mail, and I know what you're thinking. Wilds, I'm sure it's old Ryan and Brian back at the post office. Yeah. Not true. This is a real one. Not that Ryan and Brian's aren't real. They're 100% real. But this is a YouTube comment that I printed out and mailed to myself.
Really?
Yep. I took some creative liberties.
Is the YouTube comment music the same as the letter music?
Oddly, it is. It's just anytime you write something.
Okay.
Dear Wilds, love the segment. Oh, thank you. Even though it's not mine. And the way it can motivate even the brightest of stars. But I have always wondered, how does Brew keep himself motivated?
Good question.
And then he has an idea. Welcome to Brew's Motivational Man Cave, a place where Brew's greatest Broussard goes to reminisce on all his greatest accomplishments. Insert graphic here. Threw the ball 70 yards in high school, ran a 4.6 40 in high school, and
handheld but true.
Can do a lot of push-ups. Sincerely, Josh Buller, 6'4", 6'8". Brew, do you have a way you get motivated to do all your push-ups?
Well, you know I challenged you to watch me do a bunch of push-ups.
He did.
And you didn't want to see it. You knew I would do it.
He did. And is it a 4.6 now? I thought it was a 4.7 last week.
No, it was a 4.6.
4.6.
Handheld, but it was
handheld.
Greg knows that I could do all. Don't throw me.
By the way, also when Brew was in high school, that handheld was a pocket watch. So it's just a little, they're just guessing.
All right, let's get to this Bud list. All right, at number 3, my man Brock Purdy. All right, Brock, you've taken the league by storm. All right, and after week 5, you were right there along with Tua as the MVP. But lo and behold, I guess some people thought you'd never have a bad game, but you did last week. And the haters, Nick Wright, pounced on you. Oh, he's nothing without Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. I told you. Anyone could be successful in Kyle Shanahan's offense with all of that talent. All right, you know as well as I know, Brock, that is hogwash. All right. But go out there and show these people. I get it. You're like, I've already beaten legends, Tom Brady. I've already won a playoff game or 2. I've already, somebody wanted to see what's he do when the team is down late. And even in a bad week last week, you put your team in position to win and the rookie missed the field goal. Not your fault. All right. But now you got to go out and show that one last thing. You can bounce back from adversity, which was your worst game of your career. Go ahead and do that Monday night. Brock, I believe in you. At number 2, Derek Carr. Smart people, Derek. No, brilliant people said before the season that you would be the dark horse MVP, or you're a dark horse MVP candidate. And after 6 games, let's just say you're not. Okay? It's been this is the first time that you've had a top 19 defense. And actually, it's a top 6 defense. All right, we blamed all your failures to get to the playoffs and win and things like that on the defense when you were with the Raiders. Now, it's not the defense that's the problem. It's been you. You got great receivers, Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, the burner, Rashid Shaheed. That's not even to mention Alvin Kamara, but you haven't delivered, Derek. All right? Your passer rating's your worst since your rookie year. Your yards per game, worst since your rookie year. You got 5 touchdowns in 6 games. All right, so go look. Tonight, against the Jacksonville Jaguars, let's start your dark horse MVP campaign. Derek, I believe in you.
Nice.
At number 1, Tua and the Miami Dolphins. All of them. See, look, the Dolphins, you're all the rage. You're the cat's meow. You're the new hotness, all right? Nick's got you high on his tears, and everybody thinks you're this and you're that. You're putting up 70. Well, are you really all that, or are you just the mirage?
Wow.
Because it doesn't take too much digging, Wiles, to see that, you know what? That 5-1 record, the 5 teams they've beaten have a combined record of 5-18. 4 of those victims have won 1 game or less. And then you finally played a good team, Buffalo, and they beat you by 28 points. All right, so I want to see, this week is Sunday night. Everybody in the NFL world watching. You're at Philadelphia. Philadelphia's coming off a loss. They're at home. They're hungry. What will you do with them? So I'm really interested to see how Miami stacks up against a very good Philadelphia Eagles team that's motivated. So, look, Tua, Miami, I do believe in you. I just believe in Philadelphia a little bit more.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Great bud list.
Okay, I like the bud list. I'm going to throw Jared Goff, or should I say Jeff Goff, maybe? If you take a listen to one of his opponents that he'll be facing, I don't even know if they know who you are. Jared, can we throw to it? Are you serious?
Wow.
Can there be any more greater disrespect when an opponent that's going to be chasing you down, trying to eliminate all the success that you have been having up to this point and eliminate it on Sunday? Like, are you kidding me? He really doesn't know who you are. So what I look at, and when I see guys that do that, what do you have to do? You have to be special, Jared Goff. You have to obviously make them remember your name, because a lot of people question, when you think about the Lions and why they're having success, who's to get the credit? Is it Dan Campbell? Is it that defense? Is it the offensive line? Is it the receivers? Is it the running backs? Jared Goff he's good, but is he a guy? He's not flashy enough. Wilds is running around the set because he's saying you can't even do that to give us the flash and the splash plays. You are a player. You've been a player. Make him remember your name. Wow. I don't need to motivate you any more than what your guy Clowney just disrespected you and gave you motivation. Go into the Ravens country and go handle business, man.
Well done.
Take care of it.
Well, and I'm going to say that this will motivate him too. If they keep winning, and you said if they win the next game, 14 wins, he's going to be an MVP candidate if he keeps playing well. All right, so that'll motivate him.
Who, Jeff or Jerry?
Both.
It's a great take, Jim. All right, so here, listen. I'm going to put Jaylen Herz on the bud list.
Oh.
So I would just ask you to imagine this scenario. There is a player who is not a blue chip draft pick. He has started 4 years. Those 4 years, his passer rating was 78, 87, 101, and 85. He also, by the way, has played in 4 playoff games, was only excellent in one of them. That 1 year with the 101 rating, he still was 14th in the league in touchdown passes after coming into the league with the biggest question being about his ability to consistently throw the ball. And if that player now, after being paid, is having the worst start to a season he's ever had, would you have concerns about that player? The answer is you would. Yet there are very few concerns about Jaylen Herz. I think almost because there is so much respect for Jaylen Herz. What's up, Wilds?
You go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Looks good.
Yeah, go.
4 playoff games and was only excellent in 1. The one being the Super Bowl?
Right.
And he was amazing.
He left that one out, though.
No, but that was the obviously
wild card game.
Yeah. So that was kind of the point of the exercise, was if you look at his resume blind from what we saw last year.
Is that who that is?
I'm sorry?
Was there a comparison you were making?
No, if you look at his resume blind from last year, without having watched him last year, you'd say, oh, you have real concerns about was last year an aberration. But because we just saw it, people said he might be the league MVP, and that one great playoff game was the most watched football game in the history of the world, everyone is just like, oh no, there's no concerns here. But then there is this element to it as well. They play the Miami Dolphins this week, and if we can show you their schedule, their next 3 opponents have something unique in common. They are 3 of the 4 teams to beat them last year. Washington, Dallas, and Kansas City in that Super Bowl. If they lose this week to Miami, and then you have a Washington team that beat you, a Dallas team that beat you, and then a Chiefs team that beat you, before you get Buffalo and San Francisco, and then 2 Dallas and Seattle, 5-0 can turn on you quite quickly.
Wow.
And so for those reasons, I think Jalen is under duress to have a big game this week to try to stem the tide from throwing the pick to lose last week's game.
I think that's fair. Jalen hasn't had a good year. He's got 7 interceptions already. He only had 6 all of last year. And the question still is remaining, like, how good of a passer is he? Because remember, like, he's throwing the ball more this year. He's throwing 35 times a game now, only 30 last year. So they might have to stop throwing as much too. So I agree with that. That's a good take.
Brew, I would like to add Josh Allen to the Bud list. Bill's going into Foxborough. So here's the thing.
Easy work.
What you would think. Patriots, not that good. But here's who we are better than. The Jets, who beat you, and we're better than the Giants, but you had to just hold on, literally.
Based on what?
To get the win.
Why are you better than the Giants?
Eye test.
Okay.
So there's a decent chance that we can sneak a win. And even if we don't, because you've had some success if you look at the numbers, they're not bad. 19 touchdowns and 2 interceptions against the Patriots. But here's why you're in a lose-lose. If we somehow upset the Bills, bad for Josh Allen. You lost to the Patriots. But if you win, it'll be fire sale time in New England. Maybe a new regime coming in. Maybe we tank the season and we have to say goodbye to Mac Jones. He'll end up throwing the ball to Devontae Adams next year for the Raiders. Wow. And look at this. Guess who's going to be in Foxborough? Well, it's old Caleb Williams. And maybe you're not the most exciting quarterback in the NFC East anymore, or AFC East. Maybe it's old KW, the Patriots, and Caleb Williams. So, really, if you win, you lose. If you lose, you lose. So
Can I just ask a quick follow-up question? Since Wilds destroyed the entire momentum of my Jaylen Herz point, I just have a question for you.
I didn't want to.
How are you getting Caleb Williams when the Giants are so much worse than you and they could get Caleb Williams?
Great question.
Okay.
It's a great question. Daniel Jones.
I'm not going to let you do that to Daniel Jones.
They're going to live with
Yeah,
Daniel.
maybe
They're
if they
gonna
get
ride
one.
with Daniel Jones.
They would just draft Marvin Harrison because they don't want to displace Daniel Jones.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.